A news hour tonight. Bandits kill 32 farmers, kidnap many, set houses ablaze in Niger communities. Massive crowd surge rocks 2026 Argungu Fishing Festival. Fire breaks out again at Kano's Singer Market. On the foreign scene, China to implement zero tariffs on imports from 53 African countries. Good evening, this is News Hour on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Bandits have killed no fewer than 32 farmers in several attacks on 4 communities in Argungu local government area of Niger State. Residents say the first attack was on Tunga Makiri in Konkoso ward around 3 a.m. during which 6 people were killed. They said bandits later invaded the Konsoko and Pisa around 6 a.m. on Saturday, shooting sporadically and killing 26 people before setting buildings ablaze, including a police outpost. Sources say the number of casualties from the attack on Pisa community in Kabi Pisa was yet to be ascertained. Hassan Abdullahi, a resident of the area, told Trust TV that the attackers, numbering over 200, operated for several hours. He said the Saturday's attack started around 6 a.m. and lasted until 10 a.m., adding that the affected communities were about 200 kilometers away from the Nigerian Air Force Base in Nubusa, the headquarters of Argungu local government area. When contacted, the spokesperson for the Niger State Police Command, SP Wasiu Abiodu, confirmed the attacks. Joining us via phone call to give an update on the attack is our reporter in the state of Bukar Kote. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on News Hour tonight.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Akote, what more can you tell us about the situation in Niger today?
The situation now is that of displacement. Too many farmers are fleeing their homes, following the attacks, because residents said up to this evening, the attackers were seen moving around the area on motorbikes. So even in communities that they have not attacked, started leaving especially to Nubusa and other safer areas to escape the attack. So the situation now is that communities are fleeing, worsening humanitarian crisis in the area.
All right. Has there been an update on the number of fatalities and casualties from this incident that took place today?
Until now, quite a number of farmers that were kidnapped have still the numbers is yet to be ascertained, especially by authorities. And residents say the attacks have continued as the investors move to more communities. So up to this moment, they have not been able to establish the exact number of other victims that were killed, even the number of people that were kidnapped.
All right, I can see that from this story. This thing took place for about 4 hours, and these communities are just about 200 kilometers away from the Nigerian Air Force. Is there a reason why the Air Force wasn't able to come to the aid of these communities? Have been able to follow up on that end to ascertain the lack of response on their end?
The residents said the attacks were ongoing at some point. They saw some helicopters hovering around the area, but could not establish whether they were of troops trying to launch an attack against the assailants. But they saw some helicopters hovering around the area, even though they said the attack continued. It showed that communities, the terrorists continue to move from one community to another, attacking the residents. So they could not establish why, even on the onset of the attack, the troops, especially the Air Force personnel from the base, could not respond to distress us and the rest. And so...
Okay, so has there been any word from the state government, and are there emergency agencies on ground to help people, you know, as you say, flee from these communities and find some sort of rescue place?
I will reach out to the State Commissioner for Homeland Security, Barrister Maurice Magajin. He did not respond to calls. I sent him messages. He did not respond. Our government is yet to issue any statements with regard to whether they are responding to the humanitarian crisis in the area or actions are being taken to go after the attackers or to rescue the kidnapped victims. But the spokesperson for Niger State Police Commissioner was said team of joint security officers have been deployed to the area to go after the terrorists to ensure that the victims that were kidnapped were rescued, and then to also restore normalcy in the area.
All right, thank you so much, Akote, for your insights and updates on the situation in Niger State.
Thank you.
Please stay safe. Moving on to other stories, suspected Boko Haram insurgents have released a video showing large group of women and children allegedly abducted from Kayama local government area of Kwara State, claiming that 176 persons are in captivity and accusing the Nigerian government of misrepresenting the figure. The 1-minute, 17-second video published by Sahara Reporters shows dozens of female captives and minors gathered in an open area while an unidentified speaker whose face was not visible interrogates them. In the footage, the speaker asks the victims, "Where were you abducted?" The unidentified speaker then alleged that the federal government was misleading the public about the scale of the abduction. The clip ended shortly after the statement. As at the time of filing this report, there has been no official confirmation from the federal government or the Kwara State government regarding the authenticity of the video or the figures stated by the insurgents. Security agencies have yet to issue a formal statement addressing the claims. Still in security-related matters, troops of the headquarters Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai have neutralized scores of terrorists and recovered arms and logistics items during sustained offensive operations across the theater under Operation Desert Sanity 5. This was disclosed in a press release signed by the Media Informations Officer, Headquarters Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba. The statement stated that in Sector 2, troops in conjunction with the Civilian Joint Task Force successfully neutralized scores of the terrorists during a night operation around Moktum and Ngrubua villages in Yobe State. Similarly, troops of Sector 1, while conducting operations along the Bula-Yobe-Dero Jamal axis, engaged fleeing terrorists attempting to cross the main supply route. The headquarters of the Operation Hadinkai reassured residents of the region of its resolve to sustain operations against insurgent groups. Away from security, the Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival has officially opened in Kebbi State, attracting thousands of participants and spectators from across the country and abroad. The centuries-old celebration blends traditional sports, cultural displays, and fishing contests that honor the heritage of the Kabawa people. Aaron Hashahel reports.
Archery, camel racing, and other cultural sporting events have marked the grand opening of the Argungu International Fishing and Cultural Festival. Abdullahi Ibrahim arrived with high hopes of emerging winner in this year's donkey race. But despite his effort, today was not his lucky day, and he could not hide his disappointment. Some of the participants did not follow the rules of the game. They started before the official signal. They were awarded first and second positions. Young people from across the northwest region of Nigeria make up the majority that have gathered for this year's festival. Many came with high expectations to witness a culture and tradition that has been passed down to them from generations after generation, marking a significant moment of preserving the African culture. The Argungu Fishing Festival began as a traditional ritual of the Kabawa people in the 16th century. Today, it has grown into one of Africa's most enduring cultural gatherings, drawing participants from across regions to showcase their fishing skills on the race to catch the biggest fish. For many like Mohammed Muda, preparing his net is the first and most crucial step in landing the biggest catch of the day. I started participating in this festival when I was 7 years old and have continued ever since. This marks 63 years of my life taking part in this festival. Strength, skill, and a bit of luck are essential as the fishermen charge into the river while crowds roar in excitement from the bank. This significant cultural celebration, preserved for centuries, continues to unite people, including political leaders, in appreciation of tradition and heritage.
It reflects the richness of our culture, the strength of our traditions, and the opportunities that lie in increasing, in harnessing our natural and human resources for national development.
Colorful, vibrant, and unified, this year's event stands as a remarkable testament to Africa's rich cultural heritage. From Kebbi, Aaron, Asahel, Trust TV News.
From Kebbi, we go to Kano State, where panic gripped traders and residents of single markets on Saturday as a fresh fire in several shops at Gidangilas, also known as Gidongmei, destroying goods worth millions of naira. Eyewitnesses say the blaze began in a provision shop, sending thick black smoke into the sky and causing chaos in the busy market. Traders and residents struggled to salvage their belongings and prevent the fire from spreading. Officials of the Kano State Fire Service responded with a fire truck, but the initial water supply was exhausted. A second fire truck and a private tanker from Aspira Nigeria Limited later joined efforts to contain the inferno. Despite the intervention, the traders called for more water resources as the fire continued for hours. Authorities say the cause of the fire is still unknown and investigations are ongoing. The incident comes just weeks after a similar blaze struck the market, deepening losses and economic hardship for traders. Former Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, has rejected allegations by his former Kaduna State counterpart, Nasiru El-Rufai, linking him to the disappearance of Abubakar Idris, popularly known as Dadiata. In a statement signed by former Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs in Kano State, Muhammad Garba, the former national chairman of the All Progressives Congress described the allegation as reckless and unfounded, saying it was an attempt to shift responsibility for an incident that occurred in Kaduna State. Garba stated that Dadiata lived and operated in Kaduna State, where he was known for criticizing the Kaduna State government. He said there was no credible record indicating that the activist's primary focus was the Kano State government or Ganduje. The statement called for careful scrutiny of El-Rufai's recent remarks, stressing that serious allegations must be backed by verifiable evidence rather than political rhetoric. Garba warned that dragging Ganduje into the matter without proof risked politicizing a painful and unresolved case and further confusing the public. Former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani has called for a comprehensive probe of the administration of ex-Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, alleged financial impropriety and abuse of office during his tenure. Addressing the press conference in Kaduna on Saturday, Sani urged security and anti-corruption agencies to investigate what he described as allegations of mismanagement of public funds running into hundreds of billions of naira under the previous government. He specifically called on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to act on the indictment by the Kaduna State House of Assembly and ensure full accountability. Sani alleged that between 2015 and 2023, Kaduna State witnessed hardship, insecurity, demolitions and human rights violations, insisting that the period represented one of the most difficult eras in the state's history. The former lawmaker also questioned El-Rufai's democratic credentials, citing the arrest and detention of journalists, activists, clerics and community leaders during the administration.
So for us, as the people of Kaduna State, we demand a full probe of the former governor of the state. And when you are talking of probe, they are in two forms: the financial aspect of it and the human rights aspect. The financial aspect of it has to do with the probe of the accounts of Kaduna State that was done by the Kaduna State House of Assembly, which discovered that over 400 billion naira was looted by the government of Nassau when he presided over as the governor of Kaduna State. When he served as the governor of this state, he doesn't believe in the rule of law, he doesn't believe in justice, he doesn't believe in the fundamental rights of citizens of our state. So most of what he is preaching today are things he never practiced when he was a
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called on Nigeria to lead Africa's push for a restructured global order, describing the nation as uniquely positioned to guide the continent toward superpower status. Guterres praised the economic reforms under President Bola Tinubu and highlighted Nigeria's leadership in stabilizing the Sahel and ECOWAS regions, even while managing its own security challenges. The remarks came on Friday during a high-level bilateral meeting with Vice President Kashim Shettima on the sidelines of the 39th African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Guterres noted that Nigeria's large population, sustained democratic governance, abundant natural and human resources, and commitment to multilateralism place it in a unique position to lead Africa in the evolving global order. He commended the Tinubu administration's bold economic restructuring and security initiatives, saying they have strengthened Nigeria's continental standing and its expanding role in promoting regional stability. Back here in the Federal Capital Territory, residents are calling on authorities to urgently repair 40 traffic lights across the city as the situation continues to cause traffic congestion and safety concerns at major intersections. Habibata Ajayi tells us more in this report.
A significant number of traffic lights within the Federal Capital Territory are currently non-functional, creating dangerous driving conditions in busy districts such as Wuse, Garki, Utako, and Jabi. Reports indicate that out of an estimated 172 traffic lights installed across the city, more than 100 are either completely out of service or malfunctioning, with some remaining faulty for over 2 years. The persistent breakdown has forced traffic wardens to manually control traffic at several key junctions, including the Gariki Otran Modern Markets intersection and the Area 1 roundabout, where motorists say the absence of functionality signals has led to confusion, gridlock, and an increase in accident.
Traffic light is good for road because of the making you can stop an accident. But what the problem when we are getting in the road is when the police are still at the site, instead of the time when the road passing to be aside are looking, they are putting the time very short. Immediately you beat the traffic light, the police will arrest you and collect a bribe from your hand. That's the problem when we are facing with them.
The traffic light, she good. Even when I go in both country for dream, traffic light is there. Traffic light is there. If the traffic light stop you, where they say stop. When we dey small, they teach us for school. Where they say stop, you have to say wait. You are supposed to stop for others to go. How you go say traffic light no good? She good.
I have to tell the truth. They think they disturb our work because one, some of them are not, or how is the program is very short. and it gets some places where cars supposed to be passed. That one not the work. When you come and stop until all of them pass everybody together, and it's supposed to at least there's supposed to certain way we say at least the thing go there long small. And the road safety, they use it and be disturbing people. After the other day, one get motor killer here.
Speaking on the situation, the director of traffic lights, Engineer Oke, who chose to speak off camera, says the Federal Capital Territory Administration has commenced the Light Up Abuja project. He explains that the initiative involves partnership with China firms to install more durable, vandal-resistant solar-powered traffic lights with maintenance contracts expected to last between 4 and 5 years. Residents, however, are urging the authorities to speed up repairs and installations to ease congestion and prevent further accidents across the city. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
A female pedestrian and member of the Mountain of Fire and Miracles Ministries has died after being hit by a Mercedes-Benz C300 in a hit-and-run at the NYC bus stop in Igondo on Saturday. The victim was reportedly on her way to a worship service at the MFM church in Igondo when the accident occurred. Lagos State Traffic Management Authority LASMA confirmed its personnel responded promptly but said the driver fled the scene immediately after the collision. The vehicle was later removed from the carriageway by LASMA in coordination with officers from the Nigerian Police Force, who have launched an investigation to apprehend the driver. LASMA General Manager Olajide Bakreoki described the incident as tragic, offering condolences to the victim's family and the MFM church community. He also reiterated the agency's commitment to traffic discipline, urging motorists to observe speed limits, respect pedestrian rights, and exercise heightened caution on the roads. You're still on to News Hour on Trust TV. When we return from the break, take a look at Nigeria intensifying nationwide fight against measles, rubella and HPV. To stay with us, the news continues. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, a recap of our top stories. We told you that bandits killed 32 farmers, kidnapped many, set houses ablaze in Niger communities. Also told you that massive crowds surged for the 2026 Argungu Fishing Festival. Two more stories. Valentine's Day is celebrated globally every February 14 as a time to show love and affection. Though originally linked to Saint Valentine, a Christian martyr, the day has grown into a wider cultural celebration where people express care not only to romantic partners, but also to friends, family members, and colleagues. In this special report, our correspondent takes a closer look at the words couples used to express love. Beyond the romance and playfulness, what do these endearments truly mean, and why do people use them? His report. We'll get that report in our subsequent bulletins. Apologize. Now, residents of Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, have been speaking on World Radio Day, and it's celebrated on the 13th of February every year as proclaimed by UNESCO. According to residents, radio remains one of the most trusted and accessible media platforms worldwide. From major international broadcasters to small community stations, it reaches billions of people, including those in remote and underserved areas without internet access. Trust TV's Friday Mubere Peter reports.
Speaking on the relevance of radio, some of the residents noted that radio remains affordable and accessible as listeners do not need to pay subscription fees, unlike many other media platforms.
And it says AI is a tool and not a voice. You know, with this contemporary age whereby AI has taken over the works of so many persons, TV presenters, the radio presenters, and the rest of them. Now, today's World Radio Day is trying to recreate the fact that yes, AI cannot really replace the effectiveness of the physical radio presenters in the radio station, but AI can function in the area of translation, and AI can also function in the area of audience interaction. But AI cannot replace the authentic voice. AI cannot replace the wordiness of the voice. We can use the radio to promote our businesses. We can use the radio to promote our career. We can use the radio to propagate our political ideologies. So the radio is good. So everybody should embrace the radio.
I'm always happy when we listen to radio because I don't need to buy data or subscribe to the internet before listening to news. With my phone and with my radio in the house, I can listen to news. That's why I love it. I love radio very much.
Adding his voice, broadcast journalist Henry Ahamwe Fula of Rhythm 94.7 FM Yenagoa encouraged journalists to embrace artificial intelligence as a tool to enhance and refine their professional practice.
To also celebrate the fact that we help in holding public officials accountable. So it's a great day. I'm happy that there is a day like this to also celebrate and maybe do appreciation to us. These days there is an improved talk around artificial intelligence, and so this is a day that I also have to do reflection and think of possible areas where I could bring up artificial intelligence to improve my craft.
This year's theme is Radio and Artificial Intelligence. AI is a tool, not a voice. From Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, Friday, Ebimombo Peter, Trust TV News.
Well, circling back to the happenings of the day we celebrated globally every February 14 as a time to show love and affection. That is Valentine's Day. Now, though originally linked to Saint Valentine, a Christian martyr, the day has grown into a wider cultural celebration where people express care, not only to romantic partners, but also to friends, family members, and colleagues. In this special report, our correspondent takes a closer look at the words couples use to express love. Beyond the romance and playfulness, what do these endearments truly mean, and why do people use them? His report.
Yeah, baby. Call me.
I used to call my guy in Valentine baby.
Love is not expressed only through roses, chocolates, or candlelight dinners. It is also spoken in words. From sweetheart, honey, to darling, to my king and my forever. Couples across the world have special names they use for each other. Sometimes it is boo or even puppy. Pet names remain a common feature of romantic relationships across cultures. But why do couples use endearments? And what do these names reveal about intimacy and connection, especially on a day like Valentine's Day? A psychologist explains that affectionate name calling in marriages and relationships is a powerful form of emotional bonding, helping to strengthen intimacy and create peace in many homes.
When sweet or affectionate words are uttered to an individual, he or she feels satisfied. That feeling of satisfaction, attachment, belongingness, making you feel that yes, you are loved. The attachment, these words, the affectionate words such as sweetheart, baby, the pet names that are attached to these spouses or loved ones, they give you a sense of belonging, affection, and feeling of love, feeling that you're being really loved or cherished or valued.
So, what do those names really mean to people? We hit the streets to hear from ordinary Nigerians about the special names they call their partners and why those names matter.
There is a bondage between me and her if I call her by that name. Everybody calls her the name that the family gave her. But if I call her by that name, there is a difference. There is love. There is show of concern. There is a bondage simply.
I don't know about others, but if your partner is offended and you call him by that sweet name, it has a way of killing that anger. It has a way of calming him down. I don't know how, but it has a way of calming his temper down. Same way applicable to we ladies too.
It's more respectful. Like when you call yourself that, like calling your partner by his name, it's not that pleasing. When you call that, this makes it more better to hear, and It shows each other that respect and that bond.
Many say pet names influence their relationships, and for some, being called darling or sugar adds to their sense of worth and affection.
It's not everybody that you give that you call the person pet name. This is strain to your marriage. Others may strain their marriage while others may not. So, but if I called him a sweet name, sometimes he puts a smile on his face. So I know that yes, he's giving more courage. Like this is my.
He used to call me by my name before, but because the way he loves me, he changed my name to Sugar. He called me Sugar Baby, and I call him Sugar too.
Yeah, it stresses because at times when you are stressed outside, maybe at work or something of that nature, you come back home and you call your wife a pet name, she calls you a pet name, it relieves you the stress. Maybe after all the whole workload in the afternoon, you come back, you call her such name, release the stress from you, and then maybe you guys laugh at each other.
It granted me, give me a peace of mind. When I call that pet name, like call me, but no, her name is Comfort. So I might call her call me when I'm in a good mood.
Whether playful, poetic, or deeply personal, the names couples use often carry stories, memories, and emotions known only to them. This Valentine's season, those whispered words may mean more than ever. It may not just be about chocolates or flowers, but about the simple phrases that say, "You matter to me." As lovers celebrate Valentine's Day, one thing remains clear. Sometimes, love is best expressed in a name.
I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. Now, Nigeria's nationwide immunization drive against measles, rubella, and human papillomavirus, HPV, is being hailed as one of the most impactful health campaigns of the current administration. Professor Temiye Edamisan, a consultant pediatric hematologist and oncologist at the College of Medicine, Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Idiaraba, told Trust TV that vaccinating children at a young age protects them from infectious diseases. He emphasized the importance of ensuring every young girl receives the HPV vaccine to prevent future cervical cancer. The report.
As of early 2026, global immunization efforts against MR and HPV are intensifying, especially across Africa, where immunity gap remains a major concern. However, vaccination coverage does not always reflect actual community protection. In parts of northern Nigeria, false claims that vaccine causes infertility in women have been cited as a major obstacle. In response, Nigeria launched one of Africa's largest integrated vaccination campaign in October 2025, targeting over 106 million children aged 9 months to 14 years. By late October, officials reported that more than 58.9 million children have received the measles rubella vaccine. Speaking to Trust TV, Professor Temiye Edamisan explained that HPV is linked to the majority of cervical cancer in women later in life.
For measles vaccine has been on for a very long time. The rate of coverage has not been very good, and that's why we are still having measles outbreak in Nigeria. But the rate has decreased considerably because of the campaign against measles. So to some extent, to a large extent, the campaign is working. But we are praying that Nigeria has 90% take-up rate. So if we're able to immunize up to 90% of those who are supposed to be immunized, we'll be able to control measles infection in Nigeria.
Residents of Lagos also shared their views on the government immunization campaign.
It's a good protect from the government, and it's an awareness that people must be able to immunize all their children from age 1 to let's say 18. And like my own children, they have done that when they were still in childhood.
We encourage society that they should accept the fact that government is putting effort to immunize their children against this disease. That if they are not immunized against, can cause problems for them. So I encourage society to embrace it with love, and they should not frustrate the effort of the government, rather embrace it, and they should allow their children, mothers should allow their children to be immunized against the human papillomavirus and all other immunization available for them.
There are some vaccines in which they give Africans because what I don't want to I don't want to go further because it should not actually affect like things around, like for me, so anything coming from World Health Organization is a bullshit.
Since May 2023, Nigeria have recorded significant progress in HPV vaccination, with over 13 million girls already vaccinated. Professor Idemisan also debunked rumors that the MR vaccine causes brain damage or stunts child development. He called on the federal government to make the HPV vaccine available for teenage boys as well.
There is no evidence that vaccine leads to brain damage or cause a child not to develop properly. There is none. In fact, when you prevent such disease as measles, which when a child has it, the child may become malnourished, and even after recovery may suffer from another disease that can lead to death. When the child is immunized, such events do not occur.
He stressed that vaccinating all children against infectious disease is crucial for protecting communities and preventing outbreak.
The Edo State government has called for a coordinated and intensified response from stakeholders following a Lassa fever outbreak that has claimed 6 lives in the state. Speaking with journalists on Friday, the Edo State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Cyril Oshiomhole, confirmed that 28 cases of the disease had been recorded. He said the recent rise in cases, particularly from Esato West and Esson West local government areas, indicated sustained community transmission requiring immediate intervention. Oshiomhole said the state had taken proactive measures, including donating Lassa fever treatment parks to the Udua Specialist Teaching Hospital. In line with the national and international public health protocols, Oshiomhole announced the activation of all pillars of the Edo State Public Health Emergency Operations Center, which will be fully coordinated under the leadership of the Director of Public Health. A few days after the official declaration of a Lassa fever outbreak in Benue State, authorities have confirmed a rise in the number of fatalities. Trust TV's correspondent reports that within a week, the state has recorded 2 additional deaths, bringing the death toll to 5.
According to health experts, Lassa fever is a viral hemorrhagic fever caused by the Lassa virus, commonly found in West Africa. It is transmitted to humans through contact with infected rodents, as well as person-to-person contact with infected bodily fluids. Barely a week after the state government declared the outbreak, President Imakuda expressing fears over the surge in fatalities, calling for urgent attention from relevant authorities to contain the disease.
Most especially the younger ones, they like picking fruits on the ground, and most of these fruit that falls on the ground are already being eaten by rats or other, bush animals. So when they pick it, they don't even care to wash it, they eat it, and then they may contact Lassa fever. So they should avoid eating things or getting in contact with things that may cause Lassa fever.
People are dying every day and night about the Lassa fever. So if government have anything to do about the Lassa fever, so that our people, our children, mother, people will stop dying, let them, because if not, we are going.
The Benue State government says it has established quick response centers across all 23 local government areas, urging residents to seek medical attention if they exhibit symptoms.
The outbreak is still taking a toll on us. Currently, we have 64 suspected cases, 10 confirmed in the laboratory. We have 5 deaths now from the confirmed cases, and just last night we lost 2 patients, although these are patients that sample was taken. We are yet to their results will be out hopefully today. They are all suspected cases, one in Benue State University Teaching Hospital Isolation Center and one at the Federal Medical Center Happy Isolation Center.
There's always been said that prevention is better than cure. So to the general public, once you cite somebody with any of these features, it's always better for you to over-assume or to even overrate the thing. Then we now come in to even tell you that this is not Lassa fever. I think that's better. So we just want us to be alert whenever we see patients or anybody exhibiting any of these symptoms, even if it's just one, just report to the necessary authorities.
Medical reports indicate that a particular species of rodent is the primary host of the virus. Experts advise residents to maintain clean environments and take precautions to reduce contact with these animals in order to curb the spread of the disease.
In a renewed effort to strengthen access to education and youth empowerment, the Jigawa State government has launched the Danmodi Students Care 2026 mega program aimed at supporting thousands of students across the state. Now, the initiative, implemented under the Office of the Senior Special Assistant on Student Affairs, Mohammed Salisu Sika, aligns with Governor Umar Namadi's commitment to ensuring inclusive education, improving academic standards, and providing opportunities for young people in Jigawa State.
The event, held at the Banquet Hall of Government House, Dutse, brought together key stakeholders in the education sector, including the commissioners for higher education and basic education, traditional rulers, and other dignitaries. Speaking at the occasion, Governor Umar Namadi affirmed his administration's dedication to expanding access to quality education and reducing the number of out-of-school children in the state. He described the Danmodi Student Care initiative as a strategic intervention designed to remove barriers to learning and promote equal opportunities for all.
I am truly delighted that as part of our inclusive human development initiative, we are once again gathered to perform the launch of a mega student care intervention program aimed at benefiting thousands of our students. Let me say from the onset that the Danmodi Student Care Initiative stands as one of the most remarkable developments in our administration, which I am really proud of.
Highlights of the 2026 mega program include the distribution of educational materials to 25,000 out-of-school children to facilitate their return to school. The program also features the presentation of 100 laptops to Jigawa State indigents studying at the Nigerian Police Academy (NPA) and the Nigerian Defense Academy (NDA) Kaduna to enhance their academic performance. In addition, 300 bicycles and wheelchairs were distributed to secondary school students and persons with special needs to improve mobility and school attendance.
This is a celebration of hope, compassion, visionary leadership, and the uncommon commitment to future Jigawa State. Permit me to sincerely and respectfully salute your extraordinary leadership, real compassion, and unmatched commitment to student welfare. You have redefined government in Jigawa State. You have proven that leadership is not about power, but about service. Not about position, but about compassion. Have been proven that leadership is not about power and compassion, not about authority.
The initiative further provides empowerment support to 2,500 Al-Majri students and 287 traditional Quranic teachers Al-Ramma, reinforcing the government's inclusive approach to both conventional and Islamic education systems. Stakeholders at the event commended the state government for the intervention, describing it as a significant step towards strengthening human capital development and building a brighter future for Jigawa's youth.
Let's get to the business soon. Where the Nigerian Ports Authority say at least 18 vessels are currently discharging petroleum products and other cargoes at key Lagos ports, including Apapa, Lekki and Tinkan Island. In its latest cargo update, the authority says the ships are offloading items such as fertilizers, bulk sugar, petrol, urea, condensate, gypsum and containerized goods. The port manager also revealed that 46 additional vessels carrying petroleum products, food supplies and other imports are expected to arrive between now and February 22nd. According to the NPA, the incoming consignments include wheat, trucks, salt, bulk gas, empty containers, crude oil and refined products. Meanwhile, 7 ships have already arrived and are waiting for berthing approval, loaded with cargoes ranging from diesel and aviation fuel to general merchandise and petrol. The authorities say it continues to monitor vessel traffic to ensure smooth operations across the Lagos ports. The Central Bank of Nigeria has slammed the 10 million naira fine and withdrawal of checks on commercial banks using unaccredited check printers personalizer. The Apex Bank disclosed this in its revised sanctions regime on defaulters of the Nigerian Check Standard and Nigeria Check Printers Accreditation Scheme. Among other things, CBN say offense of engagement of unaccredited commercial check printer personalizer by commercial banks, as reported by accredited check personalizers printers or via CBN MTIC audit, will attract withdrawal of checks from circulation and 10 million naira fine, as well as withdrawal of checks from circulation and 20 million naira fine for a repeat offense. In a circular announcing the sanction, which was signed by Director, Banking Services Department, Hamisu Abdullahi, CBN recalled that it issued a circular on sanctions on defaulters of the Nigerian Check Standards and Nigerian Check Printers Accreditation Scheme in 2019. Still in business, but away from Nigeria, Beijing's scrapping of tariffs for all but one African country will start May 1st. Chinese President Xi Jinping said on Saturday, according to state media. Now, China already has a zero tariff policy for imports from 33 African countries, but Beijing said last year it would extend the policy to all 53 of its diplomatic partners on the continent. China is Africa's largest trading partner and a key backer of major infrastructure projects in the region. Through its vast Belt and Road Initiative, from May 1st, zero levies will apply to all African countries except Eswatini, which maintains diplomatic relations with Taiwan. China claims the democratic island as its own and does not rule out using force to take it. Many African countries are increasingly looking to China and other trading partners since U.S. President Donald Trump imposed steep tariffs worldwide last year. Xi said the zero tariff deal will undoubtedly provide new opportunities for African development. Announcing the date as leaders across the continent gathered in Ethiopia for the annual African Union Summit. Guinea-Bissau's main opposition leader, Domingos Simios Pereira, appeared before a military court on Friday facing allegations of involvement in multiple coup attempts, accusations his entourage has vehemently denied as politically motivated. Pereira, leader of the historic Patriot Party that led the nation to independence in 1974, was summoned for questioning over his alleged role in at least 2 coup plots in late 2023 and October 2025. A senior military officer cited many suspicions regarding his involvement in subversive actions, though no formal charges had been detailed. Pereira was initially arrested during the November 2025 military coup that overthrew President Umaru Sissoco Embalo. He was freed on January 31 and has remained under house arrest, facing separate investigations into alleged financial crimes while being barred from public statements. His lawyer denounced the proceedings as provocative, insisting Pereira has never been an advocate of coups. It's time for sports updates with Adeni Achishafe.
Nigeria's most decorated young fencer, Nkosi Bro, will lead Team Nigeria's 4-man contingent to 2026 African Junior Fencing Championship in Dakar, Senegal, scheduled for 16 to 28 February. Brew etched his name in history as Nigeria's first global fencing medalist, winning silver at World Tyranno Satellite Cup in 2024, ranked among Africa's top junior fencers and currently 13th in the world in men's sabre. Brew also claimed bronze at the Junior Continental Championship in 2025 and is widely seen as a strong contender for Olympic qualification ahead of Los Angeles 2028. Joining him in Dakar are Mahatal Idongezid, men's EP, Sarah Idongezid, women's EP, and Adebodunrin Thomas, women's EP. The quartet will compete in both individual and team events, with Bro and Mahata contesting the men's sabre and EP individual categories, while Sarah and Thomas represent Nigeria in the women's EP individual and team categories. The tournament in Dakar will serve as vital preparation for the Commonwealth Championship in Lagos for Team Nigeria. The Dakar Fencing Championship promises a highly competitive showcase of African rising talent in fencing, featuring Nigeria, Senegal, Algeria, Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Tunisia, and Kenya. And in football, Nigeria's Falconets are through to the final round of qualifiers for 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup after a composed away victory, edging Senegal 2-1 in regulation time, with goals scored by Kindness Ifeanyi and Precious Oscar in the 19th and 68th minute as Tadela Dior ties Senegal. Nigeria edged Senegal 1-0 in the first leg, courtesy of Ifeanyi's 58th minute header from additional corner in Abeokuta. Nigeria sealed the tie 3-1 on aggregate. Falconets will take on Malawi in the final round of the Women Under-20 qualifiers to be hosted by Poland. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajisha.
Before we go, late singer Ifunanya Nwangene has been laid to rest in her hometown in Nkanu East local government area of Enugu State following her tragic death. Nwangene reportedly passed away after suffering a snake bite at her residence in Abuja, an incident that sparked widespread reactions and condolences across social media. The late singer, described by admirers as super talented, was remembered for her voice and passion for music. Her untimely passing has left many in shock, particularly fans who had followed her journey in the entertainment space. Her burial marks the final farewell to young talent whose life was cut short unexpectedly. Ifunanya Nwangene died after being bitten by a snake on the 31st of January 2026. Her death was confirmed in the Federal Medical Center, Abuja. In Kilifi County, Kenya, seashells once dismissed as beach debris are now powering a creative community-driven revolution. Founded in 2023 by Omari Saban and Martin Luganje, Buddy's Box transforms discarded shells into earrings, mirrors, wall art, and eco-friendly decor, creating jobs while promoting environmental consciousness. Let's take a look.
What began as a passion project between two jobless friends has grown into a grassroots movement with real impacts.
Buddy's Books, the name originated from us, the two co-founders of Buddy's Books, that is me and Omar, two friends, two buddies who are able to come together, sit down and make crafts.
Armed with minimal tools, they started crafting pieces from the shells collected along Bofa Beach. By 2024, the initiative was offering part-time jobs to young people and partnering with local tailors, carpenters, and photographers. Buddy Box soon gained a reputation not just for its arts, but for its advocacy. Beach cleanup, community workshop, and environmental education became central to their mission.
The impact Buddy's Books has had on our community is clean beaches around us. If you look at the event that we held on February, where we did the beach cleanup, and different organizations and people showed up to clean the beaches, you could absolutely tell the difference before and after. Before, the beaches had things like syringes that were on the beaches, pads, pumpers, things like that are harmful to the ecosystem.
Their effort hasn't gone unnoticed. In 2025, the group received the Tuza Marine Champion Award for Sustainable Innovation, sustainable art advocate Kasi Mafari and photographer Yotu Makasi are among many collaborators who believe body box proof eco arts can drive both economic empowerment and environmental change.
I got to establish that 30% of galleries have adopted to eco-friendly art. Moreover, sustainable art lasts 35% longer.
With the vision they have, they are also looking to better the environment because the material they use material from the ocean. They are also involved in doing beach cleanups. They are also environmentalists in what they do. So I think what they are doing has a lot of value both economically and environmentally.
Today, Body Box is expanding its reach, offering a fresh model for youth-led entrepreneurship rooted in culture, sustainability, and community spirits. From forgotten shells, they are crafting not just beautiful arts, but hopeful futures.
With that, we come to the end of News Hour tonight on Trust TV. For more of our news programs, documentaries, please do to follow our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. On behalf of the news production team, thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.